Well, today we're going to talk about a cure for cancer. And yeah, I did say cure. Guys, cancer's not that it's a deal, but it's not a big deal. First off, Yah is our healer. God is our healer, and we need to remember that. Yeshua died, stripes on his back, there's healing. But there's other things out there that have proven and shown themselves to work. And I'm going to talk specifically about Joe Tippins. And Joe Tippins is this guy, and he was given a 1% chance, I said 1% chance to live, survival after 3 months because he was dealing with cancer. And I'm going to go a little bit into his story because it in itself is going to, it's going to sort of let you know what's going on and what he did, because you can do it too. And many are doing what he did and finding great healing. But he was about to go overseas and just went to the doctor because he was feeling a little not quite right. And when he did, they found this mass. And he was given 3 months and had aggressive chemotherapy, radiation, even an experimental drug, and none of it worked. And he's in stage 4. He had no hope of anything. And so in the midst of all of this, he contacted his friend in Oklahoma, who was a large animal vet, and she had posted a story online about a scientist working for Merck Pharmaceuticals in the veterinary division, and she was testing the effects of their existing products on mice that had various cancers. And that's when they discovered that one of their dog products, listen to this, a dewormer, was 100%, I said 100% effective. 100% effective with cancer. The same scientist herself, she had stage 4 brain cancer. And like Joe, she was only given 3 months to live. So she started taking this dewormer that had worked on mice. And she was in 6 weeks, zero cancer. And what happened is Joe Tippins decided to take this same thing. And when he was supposed to be dead, he went to the doctor, and he wasn't just in remission. The doctor even told him, you're cancer free. And since this time, and I posted his testimony on the site so you guys can go and look at it. Since this time, many have taken this drug with various forms of cancers. And guys, it's like $32 a month of what it is right now. About $32 a month. You can get it on Amazon, actually. But they're pretty much everybody that has taken this dewormer, this cheap dewormer, has literally annihilated every bit of cancer, except there's been a couple exceptions. Those that when they start taking it, it was too far down the line. And there's been a few that have gone ahead and died. But guys, we've got to understand the whole point of the system. They want to make money. There are cures out there. There are things out there. In fact, there's a drug similar to this. Let me get down to the name of the drug. It is fenbendazole. And there's a sister to that drug, and it was $6. It was $6 for a pill or something of that. It's now like $500 to $600 when they got a hold of it. Yeah, that's what they do. But what actually happens is the nucleus on the cells, there's this protein structured microtubule network, and they cause the cell division, and they're affected. And there's a whole bunch of processes. We won't get in there because you can look some of that stuff up. But if you have questions, it's fenbendazole. This dewormer has literally transformed the lives of a whole bunch of people because they have annihilated every bit of cancer. Now, if you wonder where you get this stuff, it is under the name Panacur C, Panacur. I'll put it on the feed, but you can get it at Amazon, guys. Now, along with this, Joe does a couple other things. He takes some CBD oil and vitamin E, and he doesn't even watch what he eats because he's sort of a foodie, is what he says. But he has continued with this regimen just making sure things stay like that. And he has remained cancer free. And fendobendazole, I'm going to give you the name there too. So let me copy and paste that. And I want to list some other things if you have questions. Let's see. Let me get there. How long does it take to see results using fendobendazole? At the recommended dosage, it's scheduled. It's 4 weeks to 3 months is when you'll actually see that cancer gone. Seriously. Some people have reported being completely cancer-free within a 4-week period. And can it be used with chemo and radiation? Yes, but I'm not even going to talk about that right now. And currently that they know of, there's about 400 people taking it. And this is amazing. When you go on Amazon and you type in that dewormer drug, you'll find that vitamin C and the CBD oil and things like that are being purchased at the same time. So this word is getting out. And it says here's another question. What are the success and failure rates? 70 documented success stories and others that he has not documented so far. So that's with the fendobendazole. And what are the types of cancers it's working on? There's a slew of them. A lot. You know what? We have somebody in our congregation that just started this regime this week. She's been gone through chemo and radiation. She's in the hospital right now, but she's starting the regime of this thing this week. This because she watched it and she was like, "Oh my goodness, this is a great thing." And are people telling their doctors about using it? Yeah. And the doctors usually say, "Well, it probably won't hurt. You're going to die, so it's probably not going to hurt anyway." We'll break the words of those doctors. And of course, I told you, what dietary changes did Joe make along with this drug? He didn't make any. He suggests that maybe you should, but he actually didn't make any changes. And I want to encourage people out there. There are so many being diagnosed with cancer right now because of our environment, because of what we eat, because of generational things, because you name it, the whole world's out against us because of bitterness and rage. Now, let me suggest to you first, we need to get rid of unforgiveness. That's a good thing to defeat this stuff. But there are things out there that take care of this. Yah has made our bodies to heal. And it's the doctor's job to keep you sick. I know that's against their oath, but they will not give you a cure because it benefits not their pocketbooks. So guys, fendobendazole, this dewormer, take it. John and I've talked about it. We're going to get some for our stockpile, and we may even just take some now. I don't know. None of us are dealing with anything, but it's interesting that the regime has taken that regime, that simple thing has done what it's done. And it said, I was remember from the article, it said, are there side effects? And a few, not a lot, have experienced a little bit of diarrhea, cancer, death, diarrhea. You know what? It's sort of, who cares? But I'm anxious to see and report what happens to our girl here at Life of Worship as she takes this drug. So guys, get out there, stay informed, look this stuff up, go to the YouTube site, and there's a whole bunch of connections there, links there that you can find more information out about fendobendazole. And guys, in the name of Yeshua, be healed, be made whole. Mark.
Did I miss the fact that I heard you say the pill went from $6 to $600? Is it still that amount?
No,
now?
I missed it.
Something then.
It's the sister pill, and it doesn't work quite as well. When the doctors got a hold of that and the drug companies, and they found out people were using that, they changed the price from $6 to $500 or $600 right now.
Right.
But here's the thing: it doesn't work as well as fendobendazole. This is literally a veterinary drug.
Mm-hmm. And the fendazinabol, whatever it is, costs how much?
Right now, John and I looked it up last night, and for a month for both of us, if we to keep in our stockpile, it was $32.
Okay, now when you say that you're stockpiling it to have it ready for somebody else,
you know what? I don't
you're
want
talking about taking it as a precautionary so you don't get cancer?
Well, John and I said, well, he's doing, maybe, who knows? No, I don't know that we would, but we talked about it. But we keep a lot of things. When we find out something works, we always think of supporting a congregation and having stuff available for people when it might not be available anymore.
I get it. I'm for that. I just, as precautionary, I'm not for that. I'm not taking. I don't. I mean, we take vitamins, we take other stuff, for precautionary things, so that that helps us in our immune systems and that type of thing. But to take a drug like this, which we need to stop and think, if it's powerful enough to literally cure cancer, we don't need to be putting that into our bodies, knowing that that may not work with other drugs that we're taking. For instance, like, I take drugs, and I mean, prescription drugs the doctors are giving me, and things like that. And we don't know, each person's body is so individually different, that to take a drug precautionary so that you don't get it, for me personally, my opinion is that's fear-based, and I agree. I don't go with that.
I don't want us to get lost there. I want us to get, because I really just wanted people to know that is out there. And if you're dealing with cancer, you know what? Give it a try.
Yeah, it's hope. You're just throwing hope out there, and do your research, do yourself diligence. Jessica, my daughter, works, and I've said this before, as a pharmaceutical tech, and she's learned a lot of things. One of the things she's even learned is that the antibiotics that we take, that the doctor prescribes to us, are also given to animals, and are like 50 to 75% cheaper for an animal's pet's antibiotic than it is for a human's antibiotic. And it's the same thing. It's all about the money situation. And hopefully they don't take this and start running with this and start hiking up the price as well. But also, we need to do our research, no matter what medication you're taking, or if you are taking medication, heart medication or whatever medication you're taking, and you're going to go use essential oils even, you have to make sure that it's not going to affect, because it's all a chemistry. Remember chemistry class, you put certain things together and things are going to go poof. You put, bleach and ammonia together, and you're going to die because that's mustard gas. And a lot of people have died to this day. There are people that are dying from that because they don't have that knowledge and research. They're just, it's two cleaners, I'll mix them together. We need to remember these things, and we need to do our research.
That's right. Sherry, real quick, did you have something?
Well, a lot of people had stomach ulcers. And then people started finding out that, like, animals that had stomach ulcers were be given like a certain antibiotic by the vet, and people started taking those antibiotics, and they started being healed of their stomach ulcers. That was one thing. Dr. Hulda Clark, and I'm not saying anybody take this, that's your own decision. We're just putting the information out there. But Dr. Hulda Clark did a lot of research, and she has books that said all diseases were caused by some kind of parasite. And now she had like some kind of electrical zapper or something like that. That's another whole different story, and I'm not sure about that one. But she claimed that all diseases, like cancers and all that, was a parasitic infection in the body somewhere. And then you got somebody else that believes that, like, if you clean your intestines out really, really good, what do they call it? Colonics helps with things like that too. So there's a lot of other things out there than a lot of the chemicals that they're giving people that people have gotten results from. Right. But it's always, caution people, make your own decisions. And, because some people go out there and take 10 packets and then You know what I mean? But this
Well,
is Tova saying Dr. Hulda Clark is correct. Most lung cancer is lung flukes, usually caused by shrimp and fish parasites. And I remember the very first there was a series on, it's about a doctor, but the very first one was about some lady that was dying and she kept having seizures and they thought she had a brain tumor and all this kind of stuff. And they went to her house and looked and there was ham there. So they were saying, just one more test. We think you've got one of those, whatever, trichinosis worms in your brain. And she wouldn't do it. She said, no, I'm going to die. And he said, well, let us just do a body scan. And they said, because if we find one, that's what's in your brain. And they found one in her leg. And then they just gave her those 5 pills and she was over it. But they thought she was dying from a brain tumor. And it was really a trichinosis worm in her head. So, you know, there's some studies that have been done, but we're not encouraging people to go out and,
right.
you know, everybody make their own decision and consult.
But you know what, Sherry, with what you just said, it makes sense that the dewormer, because that's a parasite, would completely work. And guys, we're talking, 4 to 6 weeks, 4 at the most, at the outside, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. Cancer has a name in this
years though that cancer is some kind of parasite, and that's why they can't or haven't really found anything, because they're not treating it as parasites. So
that's right.
You know what I like about all this is something that the enemy brings forth, and he's what? He's a parasite.
Yeah, he is. You're exactly right.
That's good. Hey, guys.
Good one, Joe.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We have run out of time.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.